Yeah, everything that's set up. Well, we're live. We've gone live, and I can't hear you.
The thing's live.
I'm taking
Come
liberties.
on. All right. We always start the same way we end, and we always end the way we start. So let us start by saying, dream it,
Shut it down.
believe it, become it.
Come on down. Look at this little boy.
Well, boy,
Amari.
big up Daniel Grace in the building. Or let me just see what I got. Nazir King, Sugar Ray, Otai. He says, very happy for Derek and finally winning with a great performance. He roughed up Pulev. A close but right decision. Otai Allen's skill. Blessings to you and Spence and Tunes, and everyone in the chat. Hit the like button, folks. Cost nothing but shows support. Otai Bronski Boxing. Daniel Great, bro. Where? What's going on, Spence?
Look, man. Um, a real nice one. A real thing. Like we could say, like we're pleasantly grateful. 1 second, Marzi. You can walk past there. Shut the door there.
Pardon, I still want to be in your life.
Yeah, it don't matter about that. And can you just pass my phone that's on the side there? Thank you.
Yeah. Your man isn't up the use already.
Well,
Tell him about don't worry about that. Just get over the thing, man. What's right?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, thank you very much, Bobby Wright. Dream it, believe it, become it. Happy birthday to Baba Tunde Ajayi. As I wished him a happy birthday yesterday, but I gotta say, I don't know. Tunde is doing some Benjamin Button business in there. He's working some different juju because I don't. I just want to know. I just want to know how this youth is looking so young. But you know what? It is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And it's all blessed, man. You know what I mean? It's all blessed.
Old
So
type
happy
Bobby Wright.
birthday, Tun. Happy birthday, and I hope that you get 100 more happy ones. Because the way you're looking, I think you're gonna do 100 and look like you're 35.
Come on, let's play to God that happens. Old tight Thomas, J. Riley, happy birthday, Tony. Thank you. Old tight Late Show 42, always representing in the States, lands in the States. Bronchi Boxing says, Eid Mubarak, Spence and Tunde. Happy birthday, Tunde, as well. Joe Barrow, happy birthday. Daniel Grace, happy birthday. Daniel J says, happy 18th T. Come on.
Definitely.
And Thomas J. Riley, very happy to see Del Boy get the win. All right, well, thank you, Late Show. Good genetics, healthy living, plus that positive energy. Happy birthday. So, bro, we can keep on going. Jedi the Kid Tunde must still be on the Astral cream. Remember Astral? That's
Rob, what are you talking about? We still use it now. What are you talking about? Do I remember Astro? We still use Astro right now. Yeah, we stay there. But Tunde's a living cocoa butter kid. Yeah, I mean, sponsorship still coming in from them.
Come on, bruv. We have a lot to talk about this to discuss this evening. Namely, one Derek War Chisora because he's no longer Del Boy. We've ditched that name, and he calls himself the War. And one must say that last night, that name really was epitomized by the type of performance that Derek put on, Spence. You were there ringside.
Listen,
You saw what
Tunde,
was going on.
you see the punches that Derek was throwing to the body were serious, you know, because
Oh,
you was hearing the doof of the sound. Don Charles is going to jump on at 8:30. So,
that would be
yeah, so
fantastic.
I suppose to like don't phone me in the early hours of this morning, like saying our condolences for your mom and blah and everything else what we was talking. And you know what I mean, and Don will say for himself, like he was talking about how it was fitting that Derek came back to him and they were working in and out together since January, and for him to go and rile himself up to put in that performance. And you know what? Derek has been on the wrong end of close decisions all of his life. So for him to come out on the right end of the decision at the tail end of his career is just a nice, and it's befitting. So a lot of people were there saying, "Nah, Derek never won the fight." Da, 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 da. I wasn't too sure how they were going to score it, but then when I speak to people who sat ringside, like Ron McIntosh, who was doing for BBC Live, uh, like David Hay, like Tony Bellew, they had they had it for they had it for for Derek. They had it for Derek Chisora. So it was like, from me, I was to try and take emotion out of it and friendship, and it was a close fight. But the thing what I liked about what Derek was doing in the fight, Ton, is that he was always answering back.
Yes.
And at the
Yes.
end of the round, because I was listening to this bait entanglement business just talking on the live, but I listened to your, and it's the truth. Like, he was fighting. I had good body shots, and then body shots. Tony, I'm telling you, I was sat ringside, and I could hear the power of the shots. Was I mean, it was crazy. Balfour, let me tell you this: Don Charles, as you can look at his grape head, he's Nigerian.
Of
No ifs,
course.
no ifs or buts about it.
Derek knows how to lash into the powers.
Yeah, exactly. The only Nigerian that I know who hasn't got a grape head is actually Tunde's dad. Tunde's dad ain't got a grape head. But apart from every other Nigerian I know, they got a head like a grape.
Yeah, Joker. But yeah, I mean, sitting from where we was yesterday, um, it was a performance, and Derek did what Derek does, and as you said, I stopped scoring the fight from about round 5 because it was so exciting, bro. It was I made it exciting.
No, Tunde, believe me, the fight was exciting. It was
Yeah,
exciting, and I think it was like round 7 when Derek was letting off some hands,
yeah,
right?
round 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
round 7 he was letting off some hands, and
Mhm.
I'm really happy for him simply because he gave Tunde an opportunity to work in world title fights. Regardless that it was Don Charles that said that we're going to bring in Tunde, but he could have said no, I don't want it because you know what Derek's like. But Derek's energy is like,
But that's what I was explaining. It was Derek who also said Derek was the one who said bring in Tun.
you see what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah,
enough big up, enough massive big up for him for that because you know how it goes where people jump in this business and they get gassed by certain acclaim and all the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, big him up for that. It was a great fight. I thought it was a beautiful ending. I watched the DAZN his interview at the end, and it was emotional. It was emotional. The mere fact that like I never saw because from where I was sat, I didn't know that it was his children that were there. It's only afterwards I realized
yeah,
that.
and,
You know what I mean? What? Seriously? Props to Derek Chisora. He's got some beautiful children, you know.
well, the missus
Oh yeah. Oh, come on. Stunning young lady. But you know what I mean, I like his temperament in the fight. But you know what? It was very nice to see two well-conditioned heavyweights who are not these manufactured bodybuilder type looking bodies, like two naturally defined heavyweights. It was like a throwback 70s fight, that fight I was watching there. It really was. And it was a pleasure to watch. It was a pleasure to be ringside for it. And we see what the future holds now for Derek because that would be a fantastic way for him to bow out. Just like you were saying yesterday, like the fighters are the last to admit it, that they ain't got it no more. You know what I mean?
yes.
Right. And it's the truth because professional fighters, you know what I mean? Or like when people say they're the last to know, they're the last to know when they ain't got it. No, they know when they ain't got it. They know. You know what I mean? It's the last to admit it because they can think, then what else am I going to go and do? And what I do know about Derek Chisora is that he's actually in love with boxing. You speak to any of the guys that have worked with him. Dave Coolwell, we were speaking a few months ago, and he was saying with Derek, when Derek's in the camp, he'll stay for when the little amateurs come into the gym and help them out and blah. He actually loves boxing. He does. He loves it.
But moving on to more serious questions, even though the fact that Derek does love boxing, I for one was one of the people last night before the interview. I was just hoping that he was going to say in the interview, well, crowd of people, I've given my life to the sport. I love the sport, but I think this would be a fitting time for me to end. That's the speech I wanted to hear last night.
Ton, you're not going to get that speech because as long as Derek Chisora knows that he can earn a paycheck It's still high. I'm out in my garden part, right?
Yeah, it's definitely still hot.
Yeah, as long as he can still earn a paycheck, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to go. And like he was saying, he wants to be the man that has gone out and fought all the guys in his era and the best in his era, win, draw, or lose.
But
Right?
I hear that, Spence. But when does the check become irrelevant and health play a more important factor
Turn,
in
if
this whole story?
health plays a major factor in professional boxing, but let's be real. If we took the health aspect that serious, nobody would box at all.
Not really. I don't really. I just think that I mean, we're looking at it from listen. We know what it is. Fighters know what it is.
Come
Trainers
on,
know
Turn,
what it is.
come on. We know of fighters who are now walking on their heels. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We know of professional fighters who have dramatic slurred speech. You know what I mean? Which then leads on to mental health problems, or certain fighters feeling a certain way and they come out of reality. They come because it's the punches. You know what I mean? I remember like the great Mike McCullum was saying to me, like, he said, he heard that Lloyd Honeygan weren't doing too well. I said, yeah, unfortunately so. And he just went mad saying, look, do you know what it's like when someone's like world class people are punching you in the head?
You know what? And that goes on to the point that Tusif Patel just made. He said Del Boy should only fight big names that are over the age of 36, i.e. Ortiz. But I would go so far to say even the fact, listen, conditioned athletes, elite athletes nowadays can go into their 40s. So I wouldn't even say 36. I think it's more about the opponent because Ortiz is still a dangerous guy. He still can hit hard.
Bro, you
You
know
know,
what? You're absolutely right, Tun. You are absolutely right. You know what? Like, remember when Derek came on our show 2 weeks ago, and I was saying, Derek, that's actually good matchmaking with Pulev. Because Pulev's
yeah,
not
you said it. I remember.
Yeah, he's not a concussive puncher. He's a hurtful puncher. He's not a concussive puncher. He likes to box, likes to pour out, and he's a guy he's like a kind of game for a laugh kind of guy because he takes boxing serious, but it's not that's his be all and end all. Just like he took his loss yesterday, or him getting because that was a close decision. He could have argued vehemently that he got Derek Chisora got a hometown decision, but I like the way how he just took it. Like, you know what? Don't worry, because you being in a fight like that, there's still going to be other fights for you. There's no ifs or buts. It's still because he's still fresh. He's fresh, but
Is Derek's fresh?
no. Pulev still got a little freshness in him.
Yeah. Because as I said, he did look the fresher of the two men, and that's what I was saying. You know, I mean, listen, I was more than happy than anyone. I feel yesterday to see Don Charles in there, and I was saying on the show that, bro, this is what I'm talking about. You've gone all around the house, and then you're back with a man who you started with, the brother that really loves you from the drop, and that was beautiful for me to see. And I was, the thought just came into my mind that one thing I know about Don Charles, because he actually has Derek's full care and well-being, I'm not too sure Don would let or advise Derek to carry on if he didn't feel that he could carry on. So these are some of the questions I'm going to ask Don if he comes on tonight. Like, how do you feel in terms of Derek carrying on? Would you want him to? Do you want him to carry on? Do you want him to call it a day? He's had a long career, Spence. I watched the Klitschko fight for the first time in 10 years yesterday.
Okay.
Bro, Klitschko couldn't knock out Derek.
Yeah, but you know that Derek broke Klitschko's rib. You know that.
Oh, well, I was there. And you got to remember, this is a man that had 45 fights at the time. He finished his career 45 fights, 41 knockouts.
Listen, I was there.
Derek's been around for a long time.
Listen, I've seen Vitaly Klitschko fight a few times, right? You was there the night when he went and knocked out Herbie Hyde.
Bruv.
You was there.
I watched
Your
that
dad
fight.
was there as well. Your dad was with you as well. I remember.
Yeah. I watched that
Yeah.
fight.
You know what I mean? And that was what year was that? That was 90. That was 99.
The knowledge.
Right. That was 99 at the then London Arena, which is now closed down. Right. And the whooping that he put on my man was serious. I was watching that guy. I said, "This guy, he's a serious guy." I mean, I was there ringside the night that he totally annihilated Danny Williams. And I remember Danny telling me, like, the man punches so hard, he went back to the corner and said, Jimmy, he's got something in his hands.
I remember that,
Right.
bro. That's bro. It's Dr. Iron Fisher
Right.
dealing with.
And then, yeah, and I was there the night when he was championing resets. He was like the Emirates WBC champion. He came back to fight Samuel Peters for the WBC crown. And I saw the whooping that he gave Samuel Peters.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like Emily brother were doing tag team. Oh, you beat my brother. Watch, I'm gonna deal with you. I'm the bigger brother. I'm gonna deal with you. You done it with Corey Sanders when Corey Sanders beat his brother. He just got like so. That man was a serious man. Now, regardless that at the time when Derek got into the ring with him, he was aging. But regardless, Derek with his limited experience in dealing in world class fights, ain't meant to go punch with you. Derek Chisora ain't meant to break your ribs. Derek, he's a serious guy. He's a serious guy. So
But that's what I liked about yesterday. We saw some of the old Don Charles schooling from Derek. The cross arm, the rolling.
listen. I'm telling you this now, yeah, and I'm not trying to upset them. Like man was saying to me, but he was getting hit too much, and I'm saying you're saying he's getting hit too much because he's not with you. Right? I'll be real. Because listen, he got hit far less in that fight last night than he did against Josie Parker. Remember, he got dropped against Parker, right? And his head movement was very very impressive. Like take me back, Pirate Radio Archive saying the cross-arm defense, the Foreman cross-arm defense. It's not even George Foreman cross-arm defense, to tell you the honest truth. The real cross-arm defense came from Archie Moore. It's Archie Moore. Archie Moore before Joe Frazier, right? Archie Moore reigned supreme, and he fought Rocky Marciano in 1955 in a wicked fight. Remember, he drops Rocky Marciano with that pull counter right hand, right? But he was like at the time he was the oldest ever light heavyweight world champion, and made 10 solid defenses. And Archie Moore was a genius because Archie Moore has the highest knockout ratio of any world champion. The guy was a demonic puncher, and his cross-arm defense was really good. Ken Norton cross-arm defense, because that's where Don Charles got it from. Because Don Charles, I remember originally, I thought Don Charles was mad. He said he's going to have Derek Chisora fight like an amalgamation of Larry Holmes and Ken Norton. And at that time there, I thought, you idiot, because there ain't no Larry Holmes inside Derek. I would have Derek study a lot of Joe Frazier, but it seemed like
he was jabbing nice yesterday.
Bro,
to the chest.
He was jabbing like Joe Frazier.
To the jab, to the chest, to the lower abdominal, back up to the head, right up to the body, left hook to the body, left hook to the head. Fam, Derek was moving nice in spots yesterday, and it was that Don Charles remedy. And as I said, SS10 says, big up lads. Tunde called it yesterday when he said, Don Charles' advice comes from a place of love. That proved in the fight, and it sure did.
Because I know it's not coming from any financial positioning. Because Don Charles, if Derek went to Don Charles and said, "Look, work my corner for free," Don would have done it. I'm telling you now, he would have done it. When he phoned me today, Jedi Kid Gamer, Spencer's like Master Yoda when it comes to dishing out boxing. Bro, you know what it is? It's because Tunde can tell you. It was Tunde that started the rule like, I come to Spencer's house. I remember Tunde, when I was this time I had my house in Forest Hill, Tunde come to my house, and Tunde was like, I come to Spencer's house. I man's watching old black and white fights like he's watching Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones. No, man have to realize that I just love the game so much. I love especially old fights. There's certain things, and it's nice now that because we're speaking it, loads of other guys are going in there checking out certain things that we are busting on the show, and that's a nice thing because long live the game and let the game reign supreme, because the game is a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game, absolutely beautiful game. But man have to realize also it's a very unforgiving sport for anybody who's looking for forgiveness, because you as a professional fighter, you are like chewing gum, right? Trust me, the force is very strong with me. You're like chewing gum, and when chewing gum loses its taste, what do? You spit it out. So try and keep your taste or that flavor as long as possible. But then also realize like there's only so much money you can earn for anybody. There's only so much money, and And like, your health is your wealth, bro. You know what I mean? Your health is your wealth. You got beautiful kids as well. You could bow out on a fantastic win. You just beat a top 10 heavyweight. Yeah, I mean he's top 15 in certain organizations, top 10 in other organizations. You could just bow out and say, "Yo, I'm done."
Blood clot fury. He said Tunde was talking in tongues yesterday. Fam, yesterday was a madness, bro. Blood clot fury is like Jesus. Bro, my heart can't take this. I was saying the same thing. Yesterday was so good. And you know what? We had almost 1,000 on the live when
No,
man was
no, serious
talking.
because we done good numbers. Like I told people already, we weren't listened to. We're like Saxon sound system, bro. So
So it was so good. But listen, a serious question. What next for Derek? Do you, if he were to, because I was like yesterday, the emotions high, he's just won. Let's give it a few days. He might sit down, come around with his family, assess the fight. He's had an amazing career, and he
he's
might.
not gonna retire, Ton. He's not.
Well,
He's not.
well, I hear that, and I hear him say it yesterday. Amir Khan, Kilbert was more diplomatic. He said he's not saying. Remember, he came on the show the next day. He ain't saying he's going to retire, but he's going to sit down and talk with his family. And I'm hoping Derek will do the same thing. Sit down, discuss it with his family. But I'm getting bare happy birthdays coming. Old tight Alexander Wilson, living in DC, on the local news was 2 times WBC middleweight champ Keith Holmes, who was advocating for veganism. He looked good for 63. Have you all met him before? Well, I remember Keith Holmes, but only when Hopkins broke him up. Hopkins broke him up. Hopkins said, to eat meat, to beat me, you gotta eat nails. They coming with this vegan thing. But Keith Holmes,
Alexander Wilson, Keith Holmes, a very, very good fighter. You know
good
what I mean?
fighter.
Very,
Good fighter.
very
I
good
used to
fighter.
study Keith Holmes.
Skillful guy.
But that vegan thing never worked with Hopkins. Hopkins is like, nah, brother. You have to eat some curry goat rice and some dumpling and some agusi and some pounded to beat me. Because that vegan thing ain't going to give you no strong genetics or strong muscles. But he was a good fighter, former champ, a great southpaw, if I remember right. I remember watching
You're absolutely correct.
a few fights of him, studying a few fights.
I remember he punched up Richie Woodle.
He'll punch up Richie Woodle. And he was class. He was a class fighter, but Hopkins was just a different animal back then when he cleaned up the whole middleweight division and unified. I remember. And that's when Felix Trinidad tried coming the thing and he broke up Felix Trinidad. Because remember, it was a tournament. I think Don King put on the tournament. And I remember Hopkins, who did he beat along the way? But I remember there's 4 of them. Felix Trinidad was coming up from welterweight to join this middleweight.
Light middle.
To join this middleweight tournament. And, Hopkins was just a step too far. That was a great night for Bernard Hopkins.
Listen, Hopkins boxed out of his skin that night. And I remember speaking to the late, great, and I say the late, great Nancy Richardson, who's my really good friend. God rest his soul in paradise. And he was saying to me, how they went to fight Trinidad is like, every time that he stepped, he's going to take one step to the left or to the right. So that way, Felix Trinidad couldn't set himself to throw the big bomb. And exactly the same thing that they did with Kelly Pavlik. When everybody's boosting up Kelly Pavlik like he's the next coming of Jesus Christ, and he did exactly the same thing. And remember, this was just after Bernard Hopkins just lost to Kawasaki. I mean, which was a debatable loss as well. Let's call it as it is, right? But he boxed. Yeah, Bernard Hopkins was a master. Them times there, especially Bernard Hopkins was a true and living master. I mean, I love that guy, man.
So,
Emmanuel. Spencer, I really think that you should be a trainer because of your master tactics. Love your interviews. I hope your family is doing well. I'm a big fan of yours. God bless you abundantly. All the best. Bro, I don't need to be a trainer. All my knowledge I pass to Tunde. Let Tunde do that. Let Tunde have the headache. And Tunde's surviving because Tunde's looking younger and younger. So, I mean, I've got enough great ears in my bed. But I do work with certain fighters on tactics when they come for fight studies and all the rest of it, and it's not for free. It comes at a cost, but because I want to keep it like under the radar, like, oh, you're working with this guy, you're working with that guy. No, just pay my check and we're good. So that's what I'm doing. If I need the acclaims or the pats on the back or everything else, I come right here on the Fight Is Right with my brother Tunde Ajayi and Gary Blake, and that's where I get it from. Um, it's a good time for boxing, and like I said, I so enjoy it. But thank you very much for your compliment. But all of those kind of things I've done for years. I've been, trust me, my love for this game is serious. Alexander Wilson, Hopkins beat Holmes and Trinidad and beat William Joppy, another DC fighter. William Joppy is a good fighter, you know?
William, remember when he fought Howard
Howard
Eastman?
Eastman. Howard Eastman never done nothing for 11 and a half rounds, and Howard Eastman throw that right hand and drop him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Howard only had one gear, unfortunately. If he had more gears, he would have been a world champion for
Yeah, you
sure.
know what? I'll tell you with Howard Eastman. Howard Eastman's, and he was an incredible fighter for being a Southern era British, Commonwealth, and European champion,
Yes.
and two-time world title challenger.
Yeah, Hopkins
Right?
and Jockey.
Yeah, right. But I think the thing with Howard was like he had sublime confidence, but when he got there, he thought, "Look, I'm not listening to nobody," and he did, and you speak to him now, he'll tell you, he's living in Guyana now. He had paranoia. So he's paranoid about everything. He wasn't trusting anything. Like his corner man, you know, when he fought William Joppy, because I remember when they signed the deal for that fight, because I was with them. Don King came over. Ambrose Mendy was with Ambrose Mendy's everywhere, even when he's standing still. Ambrose Mendy was with Howard Eastman, right? And Ambrose was the one that was saying like it was nightmarish in the corner. Like Howard never trust nothing, never trust the water. He must have changed the water about 50 times. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No one could tell me. All them kind of things. It's like that is a thing where you need to relax. You know what I mean? Talk Trends says Tunde, the next voice of boxing. Amazing fight commentary last night. Listen, I told you. Listen, Talk Trends. I came home to listen to the fight from Tunde. I didn't want to listen to his own thing. I want to listen to it at all. But I'm gonna be real. I did like Barry Jones did some bits yesterday, and I did like Barry Jones' work with Mike Costello. But I would say, like, for me, Mike Costello is a radio man. I don't think Mike Costello is transferring for the TV. TV
Yeah.
and radio are two different things. You know what I mean? Tunde, you're straight TV. You know what I mean? It depends on what day you get me. I'm TV and radio, but it depends on what day you get me, right? But Mike Costello is very, very informative, very, very knowledgeable man, very nice man as well, right? But I prefer listening to him on radio because he's very, very informative and he's very structured, detailed. It's like a lot of people like to me the most articulate man inside boxing when it comes to holding a microphone is Ron McIntosh, right?
Oh man, he's the genius.
Yeah, right. And I would say that when you listen to Ron radio commentary, it's serious, man. It's like that man just reads a dictionary every minute.
Wee wow wee. You know that's the bar. Couple wee wow wees was coming out last night when Derek was fighting. Jabby Jabby Chisora. I know Gary listened to the show. Gary listened, bruv, the show was hot last night. Let's have some fantasy mashups. Derek Chisora versus Dylan White.
Again, at this stage,
Free. What you reckon?
well, it's 2-0 already to Dylan.
Yeah.
And I would say that Dylan's still the fresher of the two.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'll say Dylan's still the fresher of the two. But that would be a great fight. But me personally, I wouldn't want to see that fight.
Derek Chisora against Joe Joyce.
I think Joe Joyce should be too fresh for him right now. Right, Joe Joyce is a problem, you know, son.
I told you that. Really.
Right, no, seriously, Joe Joyce is a problem. We can't look at Joe Joyce and think, I mean, this little robot man.
You just need to look at his resume.
Yeah,
That man serious.
yeah,
You know,
he's a serious fighter.
All right, let me think of a name. Derek Chisora versus Andy Ruiz.
You know what? You know what? I don't like the look of Andy Ruiz now. You know that. Have you seen him?
Yeah,
I don't like the look of him.
well, he took the first of all, he had the gym in his he had his kitchen. He had his kitchen right in his bedroom. Yeah, the kitchen was in the bedroom and the gym was in the backyard. You get what I'm saying? So he spent more time in the kitchen than the gym. But now he start shape up. His legs start look strong. The speed's there. Yeah, that could be a problem. I think speed at this stage of Derek's career, I don't think he wants to fight the speed. So this is why I'm not really interested in seeing the Wilder fight, because Wilder, fam, Tyson Fury said when he fought Wilder, the next day he had lumps on the back of his head like tennis balls,
All
and
right.
that prompted him. He said, "Nah, you know what? Let me just get this easy payday from Dylan." And then done the thing. Because, bro, I'm not looking to get clapped like that again. So that fight, I don't want to see that fight. And I'll be interested to see what Don Charles would feel about that fight. I'll be honest with you, and then I'm a person, I don't really hold back things, especially when I've got general feeling for the guys. And I just think it's a fantastic time for Derek to just pack it in, fam. He won, just like Kell Brook was fighting so many demons with Amir Khan his whole career. And then to finally write those demons and write them off, there's no other better time to come out. And I think
There is,
Derek got the win yesterday. He got the win. A lot of people was thinking he was going to lose that fight.
bruv. This is what I'm trying to say, right? He got the win, and nobody will begrudge him with the win because we've seen him go to these close decisions, split decision thing, don't get the decision. He got the decision. And like I said, I spoke to many guys ringside and they swore blind that, yeah, he deserved it. I was just like, and not only that, but Derek was slipping a lot of the shots, you know, Tom.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we were watching it. He was
Like,
sipping.
a lot of the shots.
Pulev was
When my man was trying to he'll tee up, Pulev, tee up, then throw the uppercut. A lot of the times Derek was slipping it. He was just slipping past his head. So, props to Derek, man. Props him.
Yeah, it was good. And I guess if he felt good yesterday, then obviously he knows how he feels. Derek knows how he feels. But I do think, this is heavyweight boxing, and a lot of the times the punches are they're cumulative. You don't really see them until the end of your career. Derek's made a few quid. He obviously wants more because he's telling Eddie Earn that, bro, you're giving all the money to Connor and AJ.
Bruv.
He wants some of that money.
Bruv, this Connor and AJ thing is very
Yes.
serious, because you know what? Conor Ben's making some mad PR here, bro.
Well, let me tell you something. Derek Chisora deserves that money because Derek is live. Derek is fighting live guys. He's always give it his absolute best. He's a fan favorite, and if he said it right last night. He said, "Bro, if he's not gonna bow out, then give us some of that money. Give us that big fight, and then Derek will make his own decision." But I've always said, because Don Charles is back involved in this thing, Derek is in the best place, because I told you it's the energies yesterday that Don Charles brought in the corner that lifted Derek. Without Don there, I was worried. But when I saw Don in the change rooms, I was like, yes, they're going to win this thing now. You get what I'm saying? The energy was back because I was like, yeah. And if you saw I don't know, obviously you was there. But when the decision was announced.
Sorry, 1 second, Ton. Yo, done. All right, yeah. Listen, Don Charles. Okay, Gary just clicked him in. Thank you very much. Yeah, Don Charles live on the Fight Is Right. Click him in, Gary. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Where's Don's camera, bro? Don don't like to turn on. Don some old foot Nigerian. You walk around with a briefcase. You know,
Get the link again,
If
bro.
Don weren't working in, if Don weren't working in boxing, he'd be a lawyer, innit? Very educated man. Yeah, yeah.
Very educated,
And
very
you
intelligent.
see him walking around with that briefcase that you Nigerians like to walk around with.
Don, turn on your camera. Just all Don needs to do is just click back in the link. Yep, Don's there. Don's there. There he is. The man of the hour. Don,
brothers,
I was just
brothers.
about to tell them. Sorry, I was just about to tell them
Yeah.
when they announced the decision yesterday.
Yeah.
You jumped up to the sky like you was jumping up for Ebba and a goosey. I'm pounding. The happiness.
But
The
don't forget,
happiness of the result in your ears. And that's what I was
Turn.
telling them, Don. I
Turn,
told them when I saw you in the change room, I was like,
Turn. When you say you can't say it's an offense to say goosey without pounded yam. You get fined for that.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Don?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. God is great. The universe is great. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. What a win for you last night. For me personally, I posted on my Instagram 10 years to the day, really, of us being in Germany, and to see you back in the corner last night. For me, I just said, God don't make mistakes.
Absolutely.
That's always been my line.
Yeah, that's your saying. I use it a lot, and it's a fact. God don't make mistakes. As humans, when things don't go our way, automatically we're always asking questions. Why? I've grown with age to let it be. Yeah, let it be. When you've done your best, in life, and this universe, this planet is a strange place. As you know, Spence. Yeah. The same way there's God's angels, there's also devil's agents everywhere, right? Okay, I've grown to learn this, and that's what keeps my sanity. Yeah. So that's all I can say, brother.
I'm gonna say that again. As there's God's angels, there's also devil's agents. I'm saying it again. If I have my sound effects machine, I'll be pressing all sorts of buttons now. But it's a fact, and that's where the growth is. The growth is just let it be. As you said, as long as you've done the best you can do, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But I mean, how you feeling, Don? That's what I want to know. I want to know how you feeling generally.
Vindicated, justification, right? Like I was saying about the devil's agents, the industry is littered with it. Yeah, listen, this industry. Yeah, I'm quite a solid person, character-wise. This industry has reshaped me, Norton. Right? It's in a way, it's in a positive way because it's opened my eyes. I was so green. Yeah, I was so green.
Remember?
Green. Hold on a second. Remember when I first came into it? Yeah, you invited me into your call to do various corners with yourselves, namely Grant Scagill, Cash. Remember Cash? Yeah, and not a lot of people know that you started the Mitchell brothers off. Not many people know that. Yeah, right. So then there's my little brother there, Spencer. Right, your co-host. Yeah, who I've known Spencer since he was 13 years old. Yeah, I was 25 years old when I met Spencer and Danny Williams at the Brixton ABC. Yeah, and then to see Spencer grow to become what he became within the same industry, the same industry. He's covered every capacity from being an amateur boxer to being a professional boxer, then to go into broadcasting and to all the things that he's achieved. Yeah, and listen, I watch your things. You don't know watch your things, do you? I don't watch a lot. I watch your things. Yeah, observing because I'm the senior. Remember, I'm the senior.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Right. So, me and Spencer and yourself, we've had numerous conversations in the past. I'm going back like 15 years ago. We say one day, I look at it as a triangle. You, Spencer, myself, it's a triangle because we need to take things into our own hands, you know. Yeah, that's it. We are allowing things that I hate. I'm fed up of being a victim. Do you understand me? Yeah, I'm fed up of being a victim. Even at my age, I'm 60 years old. I'm 61 this year. I'm fed up of being a victim. Yeah, and it's up to you, me, and black people who think alike. Yeah, this ain't no race thing, you know. My son is a mixed race. Yeah, this ain't no race thing. I'm talking about the industry. It's up to us to seize. It's not necessary power. I'm not a power freaking person. To seize authority where we determine what happens to us within our industry that we love. Yeah. And I'm very, very obviously we've spoken about it. It's not the first time we've spoken about it, but guess what? When the time is right, it will link. Like what you two have done. You've already set the platform. Yeah, I'll soon come, you know. I'll soon come. Come, hey, Spencer, come. Drumming a bit of Jamaican, and soon come.
Yeah, you reach already.
Yeah,
You reach already. What I'm saying is like, the fight yesterday was it was monumental because I've never seen Derek administer that kind of head work in a very long time, and the way how you nullified Pulev's uppercut, because Pulev has got a serious uppercut, and you done your research, and it was like I was speaking to Derek. Like when Derek heard my mum pass, he phoned me up and we had a good chat and everything else. And I said,
by the way, sorry to interrupt you again. I said it offline.
yeah,
My heart goes out to you, brother.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Okay,
Thanks.
my heart goes out to you, and I'm there. Tell me the date.
Yeah, come on, man.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I was there and I was listening to Derek. We had a good conversation, and I was saying like, why don't you just go back to Don Charles? At that time, I didn't even know that he went back to, you know. But I said, why don't you just go back to Don? Because end of the day, it's like the guy started with you, and as Tunde was saying, he was saying on the live as well that when he saw you in the corner, because we didn't know, it's kept a secret. When we saw you in the corner, like he jumped for joy, knowing like right, because you're coming from a position of love, and you're not coming from a position of rah. I got bills to pay. Right, you know what? My kids' school term fees are coming up. Or come on, Derek, come on. No, you're not coming from that position. You know, you're not getting sued by no one or anything. You know what I mean? So you're not doing it just for the money. But when you said that you spoke with Derek's mum and you said, right, I'm decided to go back with him to go and work, that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
When a parent turns around to you and said, basically, not people don't know this. I'm saying it first here. She said to me 6 months ago, if you refuse to take him back, he can't box anymore. And Derek will listen to his mother. So she's not going to allow him to box again. If I said no back 6 months ago when he came back, yeah, very, very, Derek's tight with his mother from day one, yeah. And, you know, as a sister, me and her are very, very close. And I said, you know what? Let me check him out first, because everybody was saying he's finished. He's shouldn't box anymore and stuff. So I thought, okay, you know, because when I'm not training him, I'll be honest with you, I don't actually watch him because I try to, but it's sad for me because it's like watching my son, yeah, being no disrespect to all the trainers who work with him, doesn't make them a bad trainers. All it is, they don't understand the individual they're working with. That chemistry, that connection, yeah, that spiritual connection, yeah. So I'm not some magician. All it is, Tunde, you be again an example where people, the connection you have with Anthony, people don't realize that you can't replace that. It's irreplaceable. Do you understand me? Right? It's irreplaceable. People don't know. People don't know how you lot started, what you've had to go through. They don't know those pains and those sacrifices. So when it's quick for them to say, oh, you got to leave him, you got to leave him. And go where?
Go where?
And go where? Yeah. So, you know, so again, God is great because you, Anthony, God bless him. He never listened to the devil's agents, like I said. Yeah. Okay. And you guys worked it out and look where you are today.
Right.
Again. All right. So I mean, there's so much to be said, and I don't like to sound like this bitter, angry black man. No, I'm a senior citizen, but it's purely based on experience why I sound like this. Yeah, the industry has made me sound like this, and this is not really. When I say not me, I'm not normally an angry person. I'm quite a passive. Even Spence, when you know me from them years ago, even when I was fighting, I wasn't an aggressive fighter. I'm more into the skill science of boxing rather than an aggressive boxer. I wasn't. Yeah, so when I'm sounding like this, you know, it sounds like I'm some angry, bitter black man. No, I'm not. It's purely what the industry has shaped my mind. No, it hasn't messed me up. No way. I refuse. Yeah, I refuse. And all it is, I now understand how it works. I didn't understand how it worked when I came in. It was you, Tunde and Spencer. I'm older than you guys, but you're the younger ones. You know what's currently what's going. Back then, when I first came in as a coach, certain fights I'll be giving. You say, "Yo, are you mad? Don't take that fight." You know. Remember the Sam Sexton fight?
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
Spencer called me. He goes, "Don't. You don't know the kid." I said, and you know my African stubbornness. Spencer goes, "No. He's an England international. He'll box there." Instead of, I said, "Spence, how long have you known me? This is the stuff." I said, "Not only are we gonna beat him, we're gonna stop him." He goes, "What?"
And you did
And
stop
we
him.
did.
And
We
I
did
remember
it, yeah? We
after
did,
that,
right?
that fight, the first fight was on Tanta, right?
You got it. You got it. Yeah.
That first fight was on Satanta in 2009.
I don't know the dates. You here
Right?
we go.
Spencer's the knowledge.
Spencer,
Yeah.
in a minute, he's gonna tell me what we had for breakfast that day.
Yeah, but that's easy. You're Nigerian, man. Yeah, I mean, so that's easy. You had Eba.
One set there. Thomas Newell, thank you for the £5, sir. He says, so glad Don is back. No more madness under Hay walking into punches. Glad to see he's back to leaning on the ropes and a good defense. Thank you, Thomas Newell, for the £5, sir.
Yep.
Carry on.
Yeah, so I remember coming after that and going to Don. Yeah, that was at York Hall. I remember going because they were in a downstairs injury. And I said, Don, I have to apologize because I didn't think, because I remember Sexton was doing a lot of sparring with loads of guys.
Yeah.
And he was doing good with some good fighters. And I thought, you know what? Derek don't need that fight right now. But the way Derek got a pig-headedness to him, that especially when he was younger as well, it's like, and like Tunde was saying when Derek was on the show 2 weeks ago, like Tunde that Derek has mastered the art of dream it, believe it, become it, because he actually just believes where he wants to go and it happens. So you know what I mean? It's like it's so nice. But not only that, but Don, because you've been in the game for so long, it's just so nice to see, like, you know what I mean? That fight yesterday was a serious fight, and that man better be giving you your props this morning. Your flowers better.
I don't need it. I don't need nothing from nobody. You don't understand? Yeah, Spence, brother, trust me. You notice I didn't go to the post-fight press conference. Yeah.
Yes.
Even when the fight finished, me gone. I've got what I want. I just went there to get the win. I don't want nothing else. I don't need no one to tell me about. No, I don't need it.
Let me just interject here. There's a lot. The reason why I'm keeping so quiet, because Don will admit and tell you that all these things Don is saying now, we spoke about this years ago.
Yeah,
and
we did.
You know, I told Don, like, this thing it's a spiritual thing, and we as elders sometimes it does hurt us because we have to let these youngsters make that mistake and see things for yourself. And I'm just sitting here listening to you, Don, and believe me, it's God. It's this is a wonderful thing I'm seeing. And as I said, Spencer speaking about how Derek is, but remember, Spence, like attracts like. And this is what I was saying. The way you see Derek and the stubbornness and the self-belief is in Don. Don is exactly the same. And
I'm the same, except I'm just more mature and it's all hidden in a way. I use it when I have to use it.
Yes, but you, as you say, we don't need no public acclaim. You know within yourself, you know just who you are. Right. Some of the questions that I know the people want to hear is, and one of the questions I want to ask you is, where do you see Derek? Do you actually, he was saying, he ain't got much left, probably a couple of fights. What would you like to see for your son, Derek Chisora, next?
Right. Basically, when he first came back, I went to his mother because it's very, very important. Because she's more involved that because she's not a public person, and Derek has never really revealed her to the public, you know. So she makes a lot of the decisions. Yeah. Anything that happens, because it's her son, she gave birth to him, right? So she trusts me. She trusts her son in my hand. She always has done from day one. Yeah. So she has a connection with me. When Derek's not with me, she doesn't get no feedback from no coach. She doesn't have that relationship with them other people. Do you understand? Right? So she's in the blind. Can you imagine how worrying that is for a mother? Yeah. And Derek doesn't obviously relay anything back because she doesn't want to worry her about anything. Do you understand? Yeah. But when I'm involved, she's my younger sister, if you know what I mean, right? So I have to report to her, whether it's good or bad. She's a mother. She has every right to know that. So first thing we did when Derek, we decided we're going to work together. We said, right, from where I'm looking at it, everybody says you should retire there. Everybody can't be wrong, you know. I said, I'm going to have to look at it myself. And within 4 weeks of working with you again, I will tell you, right? Because we had an agreement when we first started back like 18 years ago that I don't want you to ever be one of these boxes when you retire. You ain't got nothing. Secondly, your health is not good. No, I don't want. That's never going to happen to you while I'm involved. So we had that agreement. So we had to go back to that 6 months ago to remind him what the agreement was in the beginning, 18 years ago. So basically, we decided it's going to be fight per fight. Yeah.
One
So
sec there, Don. One sec there. Brother, I just read your comment. Watch live. You're blocked.
Put the words right out my name. I was like, bruv.
Yeah.
Honestly, listen, anyway,
remember Devil's Agents?
Yeah, listen. There's too many. Listen, there's too many of them.
Everywhere.
But what I'm trying to say, they come out more when they see man like me and Tunde on this thing. Right? They come out, but then you just set it up even worse.
That's
so
fine.
You gotta get rid of them.
The difference between
carry on, man.
I'll come back to it. I'm strong about this Devil's Agents, you know. You don't understand. Yeah? Okay. Believe me, they cannot win. Do you not understand? There can be all flexy flex on the internet. Yeah. The difference between you, me, Spencer, and that is them lot. They cannot come forth face to face to us and talk to us. You can't.
Never.
Yeah. So you can be brave and do whatever you want to do, say whatever you want to say. Yeah, that's fine. But you can't stand in front of me and tell me something that isn't correct. I will try and correct you.
Okay.
So going back, we said fight per fight. 3 fights from where I'm standing or sitting. That's how I say it. So we've had 1 now. Okay. And it's a must win. I said losing has never been an option. Certainly last night we couldn't lose. So we got 1. So there's 2. 2 based on if you win the next one, yeah, then we'll reassess again. Win, lose, or draw. Obviously, a win. Even on a win, you don't have to have that 3rd one. It depends. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah. It's health first. Yeah. If he retired last night, you notice he brought his children with him.
Yeah.
He's never done that. And that, to me, it wasn't the spoken, it was the unspoken. When I went to his house during the day to do my final mental prep in his garden, yeah, I went to his house, I called him like you do to your fighter on the fight day to see where their mind is at. He said to me, brother, I said, you okay? He went quiet. Straight away, that tells me he's not okay. I said, he doesn't live far from me. So I jump in my car, I go to his house. Yeah. In fact, his garden is not a garden, it's a park. He's got stables at the bottom of his garden. His park. So we went to the furthest away from the family and we sat on a bench, 2 benches, yeah, sitting there, looking out to the fields. I said to him, look at you. I said, look around you. Yeah. Look at the blessings. Look at your 2 children up there. Yeah. I won't go into too much details about the mental. People don't see this side of it. We're not just physical coaches. People don't know the mental side of it, the psychology part of it. Yeah. So I went to his house yesterday, and to reassure him. Every human being has doubts, of course. That's our makeup. Yeah, the uncertainty, the unknown. So I went to his house to reconfirm to him that he's gifted. This is for you. You come all this way. This man can't stand in your way. He's not from where we're from. He's from where he's from. I'm sure he's thinking the same thing from his homeland, Pulev, where he come from. I said, this man's not from where we're from. He ain't had the journey we've had. So therefore, for a lot of reasons, he cannot beat you tonight. It's not just a physical thing. You get me? In the end, we embraced each other. I left him. Next time I met him was at the O2. Then he told me he was going to bring his children. I said, that's very nice. But straight away, I kind of read it that, hang on. He also knows that had he lost last night, because his children has never been to his fight. Yeah. You understand me? Then that would have been it. Yeah.
It's almost as though you listened to me when I was giving the live. I said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was what was going to happen. I
think that's what, knowing Chisora how I know him, I think, and his missus was there as well. So knowing him how I know him, it's that would have been the end had he not won last night. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. We heard Derek straight away talk about Deontay Wilder. Yeah. How do you see that fight? Is it a fight that you want for Derek at this stage of his career? And if so, I mean, I'm not going to ask you to disclose online how you beat him, but is a Deontay Wilder someone you would want for Derek at this stage of his career?
Right. It's a question that could not be answered in one word. So let me break it down. Do I have time?
Of course you do.
Yes, of course. Yeah. This is your platform.
Right. Basically, the way I look at that, I'm not a promoter, but if I were for a moment to put a promoter's hat on, where Chisora is at in his career right now, okay? Right, who is it that he hasn't faced, in the last 10 years, let's say, okay? The current world champion at the moment, WBC belt holder, is Tyson Fury. Derek has fought him twice, okay?
Yes.
Right. Fact. Now, the fact is, if you look at the names that's out there, Andy Ruiz, you got King Kong Ortiz, you got Ariola, you've got there's certain fighters who are already established. Yeah, Derek Chisora, I know what makes him rise, what makes him wake up, what makes him that fear. He has to have that fear, so he can train for a fight. If you bring anybody else, he's one of these guys, right, that they have to bring fear to him for him to perform. Yes. Yeah? So the Wilder fight, what it is, Derek has always fancied that fight, and I've always fancied that fight for him. Yeah, from about 10 years ago. In fact, that fight was made 10 years ago by Frank Warren. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And the posters, everything. We went to the press conference in Wembley, but Wilder pulled out 2 days before because he had some domestic issues.
Okay.
Back then, if you go back in it, it's all documented.
Yeah,
I'm not saying something.
What happened. I'm not gonna. Okay. I remember what happened on Deontay Wilder's side. Jay Prince told me what happened. Yeah.
So on that side. So something happened where he couldn't fly to England to do the press conference, and that fight would have happened 10 years ago. We always fancied that. I fancied that fight 10 years ago, right? Again, like you said, if I'm not a promoter, Derek, you heard it from his mouth yesterday. That's what he would want. It's all down to would Deontay Wilder want to face someone like Derek. The Derek who fought Parker, of course, people will say he'll get murdered, he'll get this and that, right? They're not trainers. They don't know what we know, yeah? Okay? Fact. They don't know what we know. And basically, if that fight were to be made, I will embrace it because I believe, not because I don't drink alcohol and I still don't, yeah, so I'm always sober. So therefore, I know why I would want that fight for him, and I'm so tempted to go into details about one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen. You know what? Even just listening to you there, you know, you make some interesting facts, ones that I didn't actually look at before. And let's get it right. Deontay Wilder, although he may be this puncher, he's had 3 fights with Tyson Fury, and in truth, he lost all 3.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Derek has been in there with Tyson Fury.
You
Twice.
have indeed. It has
He's been in
indeed.
there with
Yeah.
Tyson Fury. And so
He
that's
has.
a very, very interesting. He's been in there
Yeah.
with
And
Alexander.
sorry, Tunde, you be a witness to this, right? Remember when Frank gave us Vitaly Klitschko? Remember I called you.
Yes,
what
sir.
do you think, Tunde? I said, what do you think? He goes, boy, listen, man, let's go bust up this.
Let's go break him up, bro.
Right,
You know me,
right,
like
right. So, and what is Vitaly Klitschko not a puncher? Right?
oh, mate.
Okay.
Listen,
We just spoke about his punching power.
Yeah, right. This is a guy, before we fought him, he'd knocked out 40 opponents, 4-0 out of 43. Derek was the 44th opponent. Derek was the 4th person in Vitaly's career not to have gone the distance with him. And guess what? I don't want to glorify on it. We didn't just go there to win rounds. We actually got awarded 4 rounds in Germany against Vitaly Klitschko.
Yeah.
That was the scorecard. We got nobody wins the round of Klitschko.
No,
Prior to that, for 10 years, he didn't drop a round.
And let me tell you something. As I said, I watched that fight first time in 10 years yesterday.
Yeah.
And Derek had the whole of Germany panicking.
100%.
You know,
100%.
Vitaly was
inexperience cost us that. Had we been more experienced, we would have got victory. The Savvy had to have won that fight. But guess what? It hasn't done us harm. Yeah, it didn't do us harm. It didn't damage the fight in any shape or form. David Hay, who went on to manage Derek later on, back then was calling him a bum. Said he wouldn't last 2 rounds with Vitaly Klitschko. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember.
That's part of, and I will say it. Sue me. That's part of the devil's agents I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, I'll say it.
Yeah, it's fact. Listen, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Maybe I've been bamboozled by these agents, making me think a certain way. But it's always good to talk to the person involved. And speaking with you this evening, you've opened up my mind to certain questions that I didn't ask myself, first of all. And one of the things that just come into my mind, we're all talking about Wilder being this hellacious, dangerous puncher. But hold on. And he may well be, but let's get this right. He's been knocked out viciously twice.
Yep. Brutalized.
So we don't know what Deontay Wilder has left.
Yeah.
So while everyone's talking about this punch power and everything like that, Derek could just close that chapter. So yes,
irrespective of his recent losses to one man, he's only ever lost to one man. Yeah.
Yes.
To Fury. Yeah. Even if that hadn't had those losses, I'll still be taking a chance to go. What, one shot? What, you can't negate how to cancel that one shot? Especially, it's not even a jab, it's a right hand. I think we're savvy enough to be able to negate. Don't give him the range to shoot the damn thing. Yeah.
If Derek was with anybody else, I wouldn't have an ounce of confidence. That's the honest truth. I'm being honest. Yeah. But because you are back involved in this thing, and because I know the powers, and because I know you have Derek, I know you won't let Derek fight if you don't believe.
If I don't truly believe from bottom of my heart.
I know that Don is a man that he'll walk away.
He'll walk
100%.
away.
Because I know what Don is. He'll say, I don't need this. I'm going to walk away.
And Dragons, hold on. Thank you, Alexander Wilson, for the $5. He says Derek, Shannon Briggs, Kevin Johnson, Timo Hoffman are the only 4 fighters to go all 12 with Vitaly. Thank you for that information.
There you go.
Yep. Yes, sir. And so the Wilder fight is a fight. If it was presented to him, you've told us now that you would fancy the fight. Is there anyone else that you would look at this stage? Because I mean, people.
Yes, Joe Joyce.
Yeah. Why Joe Joyce? Without letting off too much secrets, because these fighters are listening right now.
No, it's simple. We want the position he's got.
Okay.
All right, Frank Warren. Let's make that fight. You've heard it here tonight. Francis, I know you're watching the show. You always do. Francis, Frank, Live on the Fight is Right. Michael Benson, I know you're watching, so you better tweet it. You better tweet it. We want Joe Joyce next. If it can happen, send
And
the 20% to us.
all right, yeah, and I don't want to pee on the fight out because I was counting the 20% already, but that fight won't happen because on two
Yeah, I
rival
know.
promoters,
I know.
it went. But I mean, that fight wouldn't happen,
It
and
won't.
no,
It won't.
Right.
it won't happen because Derek is signed with DAZN, and
Yeah.
right now, and listen to me, and right now, seemingly DAZN are struggling because they just lost the Joshua fight to Sky, right?
Sky, yeah.
And I don't think Eddie Hearn would give that one up because outside of everything else in the UK, Derek is still a draw. So I don't think he'll take them chances by having him fight on anybody else's show. You know what I mean?
Again, I
No.
disagree.
What do you mean? I'm talking about Eddie Hearn. I'm not talking
No.
about Frank Warren. You
Yeah,
disagree.
what
Eddie
Spencer's
Hearn would
saying
not.
is correct.
Eddie Hearn and 258 management, who will manage Derek Chisora, would not let Derek Chisora fight on any other platform
Platforms, yeah.
bar Matchroom and DAZN. I'm telling you that now, right? And also Derek is getting paid very, very well right now from off of the DAZN deal, off of the Matchroom guys, and how he's been maneuvered with 258. Now remember, Derek has had numerous managers in his career, right? And now Derek's own admission is like, right, now it's like I'm getting paid all the money that I should have got from back in the day. So
Yeah.
Derek's collecting. Can't say that might happen.
All right then, but you're saying that same thing, and as two trends are just quite loudly said, how would Derek get the Wilder fight then? Because Wilder is with Premier and Showtime. So I'm saying that if these guys want the fights, there must be something that could be done. You know, if they really, Eddie Hearn has publicly said many times, I'm not gonna stop my guy from fighting the fight that he wants. He did it with Devin Haney. He allowed Devin Haney to box on another promoter, do a deal. So why
No,
cannot
he didn't. Tunde, the next thing, sorry. They like to put it over like, oh, he allowed Devin. You know, he never. His contract with Devin Haney ran out. Yeah. They didn't want to renew the contract with Devin Haney, right? And Devin Haney said, all right, then cool, boom. You know what I mean? Bob Arum, that man came up with a deal for him, and he said, you know what? I'm bouncing. And Lou DiBella, he said, right, okay, I'm bouncing, I'm fighting. And like him and Bill Haney, they bet on themselves. So that's what they did. They went to Australia, and they've come back from Australia as undisputed champion. I cannot see Derek Chisora fighting for or on a Frank Warren show. Unless there was something in it, because now you mentioned it, you never know. Because I'm not looking into know or telling like nobody's finances, yeah. But yesterday the O2 got rammed in the last parts when Derek was coming to fight. Within that time, the O2 wasn't. It was relatively. It was spotty at best. It was scattered. When it's time for Derek to fight, it's like to jam out. Like everyone was in the bar, and then they said, "Right, it's time for us to come out and go watch this fight." But I cannot see that fight happening. I would like to see it happen.
Okay,
Like, that was it.
So I hear that point, Don. I'm asking Don, is there a possibility that Frank would allow Joyce to fight on the zone?
You know what? You guys, especially Spencer, are more fit to answer that because I'm really quite a simple guy in the sense that, my head is locked up in the I don't manage, not because I can't.
Yes.
I don't promote, not because I can't promote. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm purely locked up in the training.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember,
and I respect.
I not only just have Derek, I have many fighters that I train. So
Yeah.
all my efforts and attention are
Going there.
basically focused
Guess what?
on that.
I'm going to answer that for you.
I'm going to
Tell me, that's not going to happen. No
I'm
way.
throwing Frank, and I'm saying we want that fight.
Yeah,
Joe
okay.
Joyce.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna happen. Because just recently, Frank Warren came out and he said this bloody Ben Shalom must be off his head. Like he was saying, like, Joe Joyce is with us. Why would I let my fighter go fight on the next man's platform?
I totally understand that as well.
Right, and of course you have to understand that, and that's why I can't see that fight happening, because like if Derek had a major title, then maybe something could happen.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
he doesn't. He doesn't have a major. He doesn't have a just simply just like when the deal was done for eventually for Dylan White to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship against Tyson Fury, had nothing to do with Eddie Hearn. Had nothing to do with DAZN. Had nothing to do with none of those men there. Had nothing to do with Sky TV, who were formerly airing all of Dylan White's fights. That fight went straight to the person who had the A side. So yeah, and in this fight here, Derek is the fans' A side, but he's not the business A side for him to fight Joe Joyce
Sure.
because of how Joe Joyce is being maneuvered. He's an unbeaten heavyweight and everything
Mm.
else. Derek Chisora, let's be real, he's been how long has he been a pro now? 18
Oh
years.
gosh. Yeah, 18. But can I say something there? Again, when you asked me a question, I answered you honestly. Who do I think? Who would I fancy? Derek Chisora. Derek has publicly said Wilder. I've said I've always pushed for the Joe Joyce fight. In fact, David Haye was desperately trying to get that fight made when David Haye was Joe Joyce's promoter. When Joyce turned over, he turned over with Haymaker. Do you
Yes,
remember?
that's
Okay,
correct.
so I know David was pushing for that fight, yeah, and it was coming to. We were warming up to it. I goes, yeah, take the fight, and then whatever happened, Joe and Haymaker went their ways, and we're up to where we are today. Yeah, so that's the fight. As a trainer, and I like Joe a lot as a guy. We've done a lot of my boys who I bring up, George, my son, and Harry Armstrong. They've done so many rounds with him. Yeah, he's a lovely, lovely, lovely individual. I'm so glad for what he's achieved. He was robbed of his gold medal, as you know, from Rio.
Yes.
And look where he is today. He's doing really, really well. And yeah, it's a fight that would definitely embrace with both arms for Derek.
Yes. Spence?
Yeah. So like and going back to you, Tun, on that, the reason why I think that the Wilder fight could happen, right? Because similarly to when Anthony Joshua fought for the IBF title, um, when he fought for the IBF title, the brother that he fought for the title was under Al Heyman. You know what I mean? Martin was an Al Heyman fighter, but he still allowed him to come over and fight. So it's not like it's not possible that this happens or or all the rest of it. There's a possibility of that Wilder fight happening, especially like if America got to taste it out and bring in Derek Chisora, could that be a good fight? But this may seem crazy to you, right? This may seem crazy to you. Don't be surprised that Derek Chisora, if Andy Joshua comes out victorious to become world heavyweight champion, that Andy doesn't have a fight in Nigeria, yeah, against there's you think I'm joking. Remember, I told
Yeah.
you,
That's good
remember,
business.
right, and seriously, you know what I mean? I could see that fight happening.
Can you fight your manager? Can you fight your manager?
That's what I'm saying. Done. I'm gonna run through a quick list of heavyweights.
Yeah.
Some interesting names. All right, so you got. Let's start with F.A. Ajagba, Charles Martin, Adam Konaki, Tony Yoka, Flip Hajovic, obviously Pulev, we dealt with him last night. Otto Wallin, Fury, Daniel Dubois, Frank Sanchez, Robert Helenius. We fought Helenius already, in it, though.
In Helsinki, and beat him
Yeah,
and
you
got
got
robbed.
And you
We
got
beat
robbed.
him. Yeah, we was there. We was
Yeah.
there. Martin Bacoli, Michael Hunter, Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker. We fought him already. Dylan White, Luis Ortiz. This is from 6 upwards now. Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder, and then you've obviously got Joshua Usyk Fury. So I like those 3: Ortiz, Ruiz, or Wilder. What do you think about those 3, Don?
Wilder.
Straight to the point.
I don't have to think about it. Wilder, because again, people don't understand. Yeah, the other guys are too busy. Yeah, Ruiz is too busy, and with his newfound body that he wants to show off, he ain't gonna show off it against us. he could stay busy. I don't want that one. Yeah, I don't want that one.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want that one. He's too busy, bro. He's got too many shots as well. He's got too many combinations.
I mean, Ruiz and Ortiz are fighting. So wouldn't the winner of that interest you?
Again, I'm not the one who gets into the ring. As a coach, yeah, of course, it depends. It's all to do what sells, the business side of it. From where I stand, what Derek wants and needs, and I believe Eddie will deliver it. He said when a fighter said, "I want those big fights." There's a lot of reasons behind it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Fights that make financial sense to them. Remember, if we're saying to ourselves, we've got, let's say, 2 more fights in us, we want to fight the best. Nobody could tell Derek, you're not good enough or you're not at that level. He is. He operates at that level. Okay, he's had a lot of losses at that level, but he's always given the person a fight, including Usyk, who's he did. If I was in his corner for that fight, if I trained him for that fight, he would have done what he done in the first 4 rounds right throughout, and he would have had success with that fight.
And he dropped Usyk. They never give him the credit for that.
In round 4.
Yeah, I know. But hey, it is what they already made their mind up who they want to win before the bell rings anyway. So when things like that happen, you know how it is.
Yes.
That's why you don't get those some decisions you don't get because it's a premeditated thing where they already know who they want to go forward to fight who. So you know the industry.
All right. Well, remember the fight that I'm sticking to. I'm sticking to AJ regaining. It sounds crazy. AJ regaining the heavyweight championship, and AJ and Derek Chisora ending up fighting.
You know what? You're almost triggering off something that I want to say, but I'm gonna hold it. Yeah.
Yeah, hold it.
I never saw that. Yeah, what you just said. But you know what? Yeah, that boy. How wonderful would that be?
Well, listen. Yeah, I always say that to study history.
How wonderful would that be?
Because history leaves clues.
Yeah. Boy,
listen, it's happened before. You see, like this game, yeah? It's a bridging thing as well, right? What was it? 1939, I think it was like the fourth or fifth defense of Joe Louis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Louis fights a man called John Henry Lewis, yeah?
Wow.
Who he had an incredible record. This guy, John Henry Lewis, was a G, but never back then. Remember, after Jack Johnson got disposed as heavyweight champion, we had to wait another 20 years for a man to challenge for the world title, right? So, of a man of color to challenge for it. So John Henry Lewis and Joe Louis, they were the first men of color to actually fight each other for the world title, but they were friends. And John Henry Lewis said, Tunde, go watch. Tunde likes to watch. Go watch that fight.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, Joe Louis bangs him out in 1 round, but it wasn't the case. He was like his elder. He said, like, you know what? When I was coming through, you were the guy that kind of guided me.
Wow.
And you're out money. You know what? Bro, I'm gonna give you a payday. His last fight, he gave him a mad payday. Got a mad payday. Them times, Joe Louis was making mad peas, right? So he gave him a mad payday. It was a bridging thing. But Joe Louis said, I have to broke you up, though. Don't think I'm pulling back no shots. I'm going to try to broke you up, right?
Yeah.
And one thing I know about Derek, if Derek had the Anthony Joshua fight, I'm not causing no trouble between the brothers now, but I'm telling you how it is. Derek would go for Anthony Joshua like nobody's business. So I'm telling you, if I could see them two fighting, remember I'm telling you, crazy.
Nigeria versus Zimbabwe.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And they're going to play Bob Marley, Africa Unite, when they're both coming out to fight.
Yeah,
but we already know he's winning that battle. Off the canvas boxing, thank you for the £5, sir. He said, evening, gentlemen. Congrats to Don Charles and happy birthday to the master genius, Baba Tunde Ajayi. I'm so pleased.
Whose birthday?
It's mine. Birthday
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, brother. Happy birthday, brother.
And look at the day that we're all together. You see how this thing works?
It's beautiful.
See that blessed day. A blessed day.
It's beautiful.
Let me read it out. Sorry. Off the canvas boxing. Evening, gentlemen. Congrats to Don Giles and happy birthday to the master genius, Baba Tunde Ajayi. I'm so pleased for Derek on the result yesterday. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. And Derek rolls on. Spence?
Yeah. Don. I want to go back to certain things, right? Because you're just referring to what you call them, the devil's agents and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. I don't know why you're giving them so much power. You know what I mean? Because they're not even. You know what I mean? As Bernard Hopkins used to call them bottom feeders. But what I do want to know is this. I'm just gonna call it as it is. When Derek got signed with David Hay to manage him, right? Knowing the history that you two had, and Tunde wisely went back to his hotel, so he missed all the fiasco when it kicked off in the press conference, and David Hay threw the shot at you. How did you feel him going and working with you?
Well, me not being a selfish person, when Derek first told me, or asked me, should I say, he asked my opinion. He said, look, we finished the training session and it was leading up to the Dillian White fight, the second Dillian White fight. He said, you know what, I've got an idea. I said, what's that? He said, I'm thinking of asking David Hay to manage me. I gave him one dirty look. I said, are you out of your mind? Yeah, I said, what are you talking about? You know, Derek comes up with a lot of things. I goes, listen, what are you talking about? I swear to God, Spence, I walked away. I went into the other room next to the gym to get something. Come back in. And I was thinking, you know what? This crazy kid, because he comes out with crazy things, but there's always a genius things behind some of the crazy things he does. I thought, you know what? Not a bad shout, because irrespective of the history we have with this guy, a guy who used to continuously call you a bum, you loser, yeah? Then you're gonna go and ask him to manage you. The controversy that would bring, and the not that the fight needed selling, that fight sells itself more or less, yeah. But with Hayes' inclusion, it would be almost like pouring petrol into a fire. I knew that with his mouth, he will draw more attention to it. I said, you know what, Derek? As crazy as it may sound, I don't manage you. Someone like that, maybe, right? And then I embraced it. I said, yeah, ask him. If he says yeah, then let it be. And he did ask him, and he didn't know at the time that Derek Chisora probably saved David Hay, because Joe Joyce, we didn't know that he was on exiting the Haymaker outfit, and the timing for Derek then knocks on the door. Can you manage him? Bingo, right? So he took over the management, and I'm not a hypocrite. I said to David Hay when we went to his offices in his gym, I said, you know what? In a way, when Derek first asked me, I thought it was a crazy idea, but I could see how this could actually. I said, you being a former undisputed cruiserweight world champion and a former heavyweight WBA world champion, I said, maybe your inclusion would help me and Derek to achieve that thing that we both wanted to achieve, for Derek to become a world champion. So not for my own selfish reasons, for Derek's sake, I said, maybe that's what we're missing. Maybe those little ingredients, that experience from somebody who's been there and done it, that inclusion might not be a bad inclusion at all. So I was looking at the bigger picture, not knowing that my man's going to oust me. He engineered for me to be ousted.
Oh my God!
Yeah, right?
Done!
Okay, right? So I thought, that's why I come with the devil's agents. They're everywhere.
Done.
Yeah.
If I tell you something,
right? So basically,
much.
so I thought, okay, and that worried me a lot when I was ousted. I was disappointed with my boy Derek, obviously, terribly disappointed. Yeah, when you're gonna side with these people and listen to them over me, yeah, who's got your best interest at heart? Yeah. Anyway, and if you get rid of me, go and get him a coach. Get him a coach. He didn't. He didn't get him a coach. He had some goons. I use the word goons. He had some goons, yeah, training my boy who, like I said, I'm not his biological father. In boxing, I'm his father in boxing. I had some goons, 100. Some David Hayes goons, yeah, pretenders trying to fit in my boots, yeah. I'm a size 11 and a half, you know. Them man there size 6, right? So you can't put your skinny feet in my boot. You're gonna fit, right?
Don so Charles is on fire.
Listen, I say how it is. Simple.
Yes, sir. We know that.
He got 3 man here that says it how it is. That's the problem, you see, for everybody.
Come on, that's problem.
It is.
The Trinity. Anyway, Big up Monty Singh. Thank you for the £10, sir. He said, evening,
What?
guys.
£10.
Great to see you done on a show. A man of integrity and respect.
Thank you, sir.
Love the
Thank
way
you.
he handled Tyson Fury in the second pre-post press conference. A real gentleman and a great trainer. Great respect. Big up Monty Singh for that. Sugar
Whoever
Ray,
that is,
thank you
respect.
also. Sugar Ray, thank you. Sugar Ray 29, thank you for the £10. He says, Tunde, happy birthday. Hey, Spence, that tenner's mine, mate. Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Tunde and I got big funeral costs coming up soon, you know. So you have to pass me that cash.
Yeah, done. I mean, listen, you know, I've always been, you know, you're one of the guys that I've always looked up to. I've always wanted the best for you, and I'm just, again, I mean, to end this, you know, it's been just a revelation to see you, you know, never give up, always trust the power that you can't see.
Absolutely.
That's the key.
Absolutely.
Trust
They
in the
can't
power
see
that
it. Tunde, they can't see it.
you can't
Yeah.
see the power, and
But they're not meant to.
they're not meant
Absolutely.
to. And
Absolutely.
nothing
Absolutely.
has made me more happy than to see Derek back with the guy, in my opinion, that I believe loves him from head to toe, and really has his, you know, best intentions at heart. And you know, I wish you and Derek nothing but the best. Great health
Thank
for the
you,
future.
brother. Thank you.
And
Thank
let's
you.
just take this Derek Road show as far as God wants it to go. And well done to you, sir. You know, you're my older anyway. The respect's always been there. Just that's our culture. That's our culture. So keep shining.
I'm very proud of what you've gone on, because I know your journey. A lot of people don't know it. Yeah. Only I'm very close friend with the musician Mark Morrison. Yeah. Mark was under the same thing, and he went to the Brits and he wore a T-shirt that says "Only God can judge me." He wore it at the Brits back then, and I still remain. Me and him are tight friend. We still are, and I always say that to people. No human being is fit to judge me. Only God can judge me.
You know, the craziness is this, right? Yesterday, when I was driving, because me and my kids went up to Caversham Lakes, right? When I was driving, I was listening to Return of the Mac, you know. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know
Listen,
why.
I'll bring him on. Listen, bring the Black Book out, Spence. I'll put him on the show. Trust me.
Yeah.
He'd
All
love to
right.
come on.
Right, and you know, Don watches
He'd
the
love to
show
come
for real when he's talking about the Black Book. Don watches the show.
Yeah.
Big
Come
up,
on, man.
listen. Don,
I'm your elder. I have to watch over you, right?
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You are the El Haji, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
SS10, thank you for the £5.
Right.
SS10, thank you for the £5. Says happy birthday, Tunde. Respect, bro. Also, hope Spencer is feeling a bit better. Don Charles, lovely to hear the honesty you speak with. Respect. Don, believe me, you've got a lot of people out here that admire and respect what you stood for thus far in the game. And I think people like ourselves, definitely, I know, Don, we don't usually, because we're so focused on doing the right thing, we don't realize sometimes how many people admire and respect us for being us.
Sure.
That's the key. That's the key. That's why nobody can ever make you feel a certain way, because you're being yourself. And unfortunately, nowadays, that's outdated. There are not many people that want to be themselves. And you've shown, even in an industry like this, that you can be yourself and still win. And for
Yes, you can.
For that, you deserve all the respect. Spence, any last things before we let go?
My last thing is this, because the week about 10 days ago, me and Tunde bust a story that Andy Joshua's fight with Usyk was going to be on Sky TV, right? It has now come out that it is actually on Sky, but we busted.
I heard that. I heard when you did.
Right, we bust the story, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I want to get this firstly because, lastly, sorry. What are your thoughts on DAZN losing the purse bid out to Sky? Number one, and number two, how do you think Andy Joshua would have to go about Because remember, Don should originally have trained Andy Joshua. You know that. I know Tunde knows, but I'm letting the listeners know. Don, will you take?
From time,
Yeah, right.
man.
Sometimes you
Time,
should
Yeah,
have.
from
day
time.
one. Hold on, wait, they're done. Remember when he come in the gym? Andy come in the gym, hitting the bag and bro, this thing. People don't. They
Listen.
really don't know.
That's a story for another day. Come on, champ. That's
They
a story for
really
another day.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
People
just want to
don't
know.
know.
So how do you think Andy Joshua has to go about for this rematch with Usyk?
Well, again, it's almost a cliche. Like everybody will say the same thing. Anthony is got gifted with physicality. Yeah. Okay. But I wished I was involved in his training, because he needs that defense, the Ken Norton stuff. Yeah. Okay. I modeled Derek on
Two fighters.
Frazier. Yeah. Okay. And who's the other guy you when we spoke
Ken
about him
Norton.
once? And,
Ken Norton.
not Ken Norton. There's the next man that with that cross arm thing.
Oh, Archie Moore. Archie Moore.
Archie Moore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about it, Spence. You
Yeah.
said, oh, I said, oh yeah, Archie Moore does it as well. Yeah. So I modeled Derek on Archie Moore and Fraser. I said to Anthony Joshua, how many years he won it in 2012? In 2013, I said, if we're gonna work together, I will give you the Ken Norton, because he's built like Ken Norton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Physically.
type of physically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I said that's how I would approach your defense, because now he would need that more than anything. That goes with Usyk. Usyk is gonna be. He's an exceptional boxer. Yeah. High IQ, ring IQ. Usyk. And Josh obviously needs to close down that distance, because Joshua is very devastating when he gets in mid-range to close quarters.
Yes.
He needs to get in there. He needs to be able to grab my man, seize him up, tie him up, bully him. Yeah, don't try and box this guy from the play boxing game with. Don't do that. Yeah. So yeah, if I was, I hope the brother couldn't hear this or he listens to your show. That's what I would do. I'd step to him, manhandle him, physically manhandle him. Yeah, and he's strong. He's stronger than Usyk physically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you have to gamble, cross them big arms, man. You can't penetrate that. Check stuff, man. Check it, boom, jack him up, and then open up. He got fast, rapid combinations, Anthony Joshua. Once he gets into a certain range, but he needs to get into that range to be able to do that.
We saw that. We actually saw that in the third round of the Pulev fight. And when I watched that third round and the way Anthony Joshua came out and started letting hands go.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's better than that guy, Anthony. When it comes to close quarters, he throws beautiful, rapid combination. Properly educated shots. Yeah. And very, very accurate as well. Anthony very, very rarely misses shots when he puts them together. Yeah, in close quarters. But it's getting there, especially against someone like you, a tricky southpaw like you said, getting there. I hope them man they're gonna probably try and in terms of foot placing, that's what they're gonna be working on, movements a lot rather than the actual physicality. They need to listen, bro. Listen, I can't. I'm not privileged to. I get frustrated, as you can hear it in my voice when I'm trying to, because it's very obvious. And the type of coach, right? They will look everywhere but at home. Yeah, you
done again. Stop it. You gotta stop this mind reading thing.
No, you gotta come home, bro. Yeah,
you gotta stop this mind reading.
Come and get the realness. Yeah, I don't care about them. Who is it? Angel who? Angel Fernandez or is it? Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
Bro, these men, they don't get it. They just don't get it.
Yeah, sometimes things are so obvious in front of you. Stop trying to please the public. The public don't want. The public are. Listen, what is it that Anthony Joshua has not achieved? Yeah, and they're still finding faults in him and sense putting him down. What is it if that kid decides to stop today? What is it? He goes down in history. It does.
Yes, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, and how he achieved it in such short space of time. He's achieved all this. Yeah, and it does anger me. It does anger me, and it does really anger me. We're too busy looking elsewhere. No, them man ain't got nothing. They haven't got nothing. I'm saying to you, they can't put me in the same in a coaching capacity. Put me in the same room as them coaches. Yeah, call it ego, call it whatever. Yes, I've got an ego, right? Everyone has an ego, right? They can't live in the same room when it comes to training with me. They can't. They can't.
Come on.
With the stock I've had to work with, yeah, compared to the stock they've been given to work with. Yeah, come on, champ. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute honor, a pleasure. Man's got to be paying us triple for Don Charles coming on this thing here. Because this man, the man of integrity, the man of wisdom, the man of words, the man of truth. Ladies and gentlemen, we have presented to you the one, the only, Mr. Don Charles. Thank you, Don.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Have a beautiful Sunday.
We need you back. We need you back, Don.
No, we need you more regular. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, I'm there, man.
Thanks for blessing. I'll send you all the details from my mom's thing as well, but love you.
I'm there, Spencer.
Thank you very much, my brother.
All right, Keith.
Excellent. Thank you, Don. Thank you.
Ciao.
Nobody can't chat to us in this thing here.
Listen, when I said to Tunde, yeah, Don Charles phoned me this morning. Listen, yeah, I said, yeah, he's coming on the show later. Tunde's like, what? He said, yeah. First thing first, he said, boy, condolences about your mom, Spence. Sorry about Charles in camp, and I was meaning to phone you, but right. I said, you know what? But Don he just talking the rules, and you can hear in his voice now, like he just don't business now. He don't care. You just like, look, I've tried to do this KKKK and all the rest of it, and Devil's agents try and match me up. You know what I mean? They try and mash him, they try and mash him up vicious.
You see what Don said? I'm going to tell you offline about David Hay. And little did he know they was planning to get him out.
G Chains, thank you very much for the $44.99. Great show tonight. Happy birthday, Tunde. And I'm also want to offer my sincere condolences, my brother Spencer. Rest in eternal power, auntie. Bless up my bros. And you know what? You are a real one. G took me out to Travis J's comedy thing as well, trying to cheer me up. I wasn't even going. He forced me every minute. He was just on me, phoning me every day. He said about 2 weeks ago. Every minute he was phoning and sending me messages. I said, child, let me just go. Just to get this man to stop harassing me. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I come out of my house, but thank you for the support.
Big up Ice Cold. He said, Don Charles is a legend. Real talk. And you know what makes me happy? Because it's taken us to build our own platform to recognize the people that really deserve all the
flowers. Come on, Ton. You know how this thing goes. Right, you know how this thing goes.
This is one of the reasons why yesterday, as soon as I saw Don in the change room, anyone who watched the live show that I done yesterday knows what I said. As soon as I saw Don I jumped up. I said, yeah, Derek's going to win now. I wasn't too sure before, but when I saw Don on the pads, I said, dance is over. Because just the love. Remember, everything is love. There's no more powerful force in this world other than love. And when you got a man in your corner that loves you, Spencer,
that's power. Yeah.
And you can turn water into wine. Sorry for the non-alcoholics right now, but you can. That's what love does. And we're not being all wishy-washy. But Don Charles, I've been there from the get-go, from the jump. This man, and this is why maybe Don and Derek clashed. When two people love each other, they clash. But guess what? The love always cements everything, and it's a beautiful thing to happen. And now I'm even more heightened by Derek's hopefully last two fights moving forward, because Don is involved. If Don Charles ain't there, it ain't gonna work. I'm just being honest. It's not gonna work. So Don has to be there. And he's a great
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Great man. A man, as I said, I've said it before, with integrity. And there's not much more I can say in terms of how happy I am that these guys are back together, and you can see it. You can see it, and you know, Derek Chisora just added an extra three fights to his boxing career, in my opinion. So, big
Well,
up. Big up.
like I said, I'm just glad that we got done on. Glad that he blessed the show. It was an incredible win. It's an incredible time. Like I said already, Tony, it's an incredible time for boxing. It's an incredible time for the fighters, right? For the Stamina for Soul crew. And you know what? I'm just so looking forward to like doing more study and passing out more fight plans and all the rest of it. But I am saying to all you little young cats out here, do not be surprised if Anthony Joshua does not beat Usyk and then Derek Chisora gets a shot at his world title and the fight's over in Africa. Simply because Tyson Fury was saying that it'd give Derek an opportunity to fight for the world title. So I'm just
Let
saying.
me just say another thing, Spence. I just received a text from I'm not gonna say one of the nicest guy, a guy that really has the love, again, that word love of boxers, and he's not short of a few quid. Don will know who I'm talking about. You would definitely know who I'm talking about, and that's the one and only Mick Collier,
Bro,
the chairman of the British Boxing Board of Control in the Southeast. I may have got that wrong, but a man that was the head steward last night for the contest. And he said that Del Boy had him running around all night, and at the end in the dressing room, Derek, in front of everyone, gave Mick a cuddle and said, "You are the only one who has been with me from the start." And that is what I'm saying. There's certain men that are with you from the start that you can't move forward if you don't keep them around you.
telling ya.
Go all around the block, all to this so-called person, everything. It's the people that were with you from the start. You need to keep these people very close to you because they'll be with you when you ain't got nothing.
Okay. Off the canvas boxing, thank you for the £5. Amazing wisdom by Don Charles, and apologies I missed this sooner. Condolences, Spencer, and I wish your family blessings and comfort in this time. And thank you very much, off the canvas. And I'm telling you guys this now, it's getting easier. In the beginning, it was very, very difficult. Where I was waking up and it was mad. I was shaking. And you know when you connect with someone, like Tunde will phone me and say, "Spence, you feeling all right? Cause I just feel weird today." I said, "Boy, Tunde, I'm going for a rough day today, you know." And that's the man. That's Tunde and the key. Love. When you got love for a man, you know, when you got love for your people, when you got love or you love doing something, it's a powerful combination. And love makes you empathetic. You know what I mean? Makes you empathetic. Because certain times we're not looking for sympathy, we're looking for empathy. And when you got that, when you empathize with someone, that's when you go out there and you have the best intention for them to raise up. And I ain't gonna lie, the last couple of weeks was really, really hard. Really hard. And like me geeing up now for my mom's funeral, yeah, it's a little bit hard. But in saying that, I've come to the realization like it's not what people leave to you, but what they leave inside of you. And my mom and my dad, they've left a lot of goodness inside of me. So I'm cool. But
There
thanks
you
to
go.
every single person for jumping on our live today. We were blessed. Go on, Tony's gonna say something. Go on, Tony.
Mick Collier just said, "Give my love to Spencer in
Oh,
this
come on.
sad time." Come on.
Mick Collins. Let me. I'll keep on saying this again. People don't realize. I see Mick yesterday in his crutches. Man's still jetting around 100 miles an hour in crutches.
Trust me.
Right? This seriously. If you cut Mick Collier's chest open, you're gonna see a big boxing glove come out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Seriously, because he is, and I've said this so many
And a
times.
lot of money as well.
No, he's caked. No, he's differently caked on another level. You ever drive to his house? So this about another tree. You drive through in the gate, and you think you're going to see his house. You got another 3 miles to drive before you get to his house. Mick Collier is differently caked, and he's a man that feels for the fighters. I remember when Gilbert Eastman got injured, right? He goes to Tunde. Tunde, tell Spencer that he's injured. Mick Collier is a real one. God bless that man, you know. I'm telling you this now. God bless that man. Beautiful human being.
Anyway, let's wrap it up because you know us, we'll be here forever, and it's
Yep.
Monday tomorrow. It's back to the
You're damn
office.
right. I want to come out in this garden. I'm in the garden part. I'm bloody cold. I'm going back in my house, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great evening. We had the man of wisdom himself, Mr. Don Charles, the trainer. I mean, how many times has there been a big fight and the people involved have come on the fight is right the following day? The dust hasn't even settled and they come to bless the show.
Because that's the love that we got straight standing.
And it was great to hear from Don. He's a man, he's always wear his heart on his sleeve and he tells the truth and he doesn't feel ashamed about it. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it has been great. Thank you. Still 400 people on the live. Thank you for all the donations. You know this is the realest podcast in boxing. We only talk the truth here, and it really doesn't matter who it offends. We're talking the truth. That's why we set this thing up, so we can have our opinion, we can hear the opinion of others, and not be judged. Yeah, any negativity, straight block, because we're not dealing with that. We're just dealing with positivity and productive conversation. We end as we started by saying, dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down. Join me midweek while I'll have Lawrence Okoli discussing his future as the WBO World Cruiserweight Champion and his split from 258 management and Eddie Hearn Matchroom as he's going over to Sky. All right, peace, two fingers, we're out.